Burai, a lecturer at Istanbul Aydin University. Ahmed, thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
We heard from President Erdogan there outlining his thoughts, shall we say, on the YPG and explaining just why Turkey is taking this action in northern Syria. We are very much entering a new chapter, aren't we, in Turkey's attitude, shall we say, towards the YPG, do you think?
I think Turkey after the coup, post the coup, is completely different from Turkey before the coup. Now Turkey is not going to be, let's say, conceding in its own interests. The United States, the whole world should understand that Turkey is bearing the biggest burden, the biggest share of burden in terms of the refugees, in terms of the economic crisis, recently in terms of its own citizens. They've been losing, they've been under attacks from the terrorist groups coming from Syria, and recently there have been mortar shells, they've been firing from Syria to Karkamish, to the province borders of Kilis, and this is going to continue unless Turkey takes a very brave and courageous moves on the ground in order to deter and stop these kind of shelling against its own citizens. And that is clear in the statements of the President, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, when he says that this must stop, enough is enough, and this will stop.
Can you just explain to our audience how the Turkish government views the YPG and the connections with the PKK? Maybe not everyone totally knows the nuances there in the relationship between those groups.
Turkey has no problem with the Kurdish people, whatsoever problem they don't have. But the problem is this: the YPG, the PYD, cannot keep a distance from the PKK, and PKK is internationally designated as a terrorist group, outlawed terrorist group. And that's why if they cannot keep this distance, and in the past few months or so, there have been statements from militants, from these affiliates for these groups, they've been supporting the PKK, and that's why Turkey cannot be conceding with this. They cannot accept a terrorist entity on the southeastern parts of its own country. That's why it's very difficult for Turkey to accept them and to understand why the United States is still continuing in supporting of them. The only pretext of the United States is that they're the most effective power fighting ISIS or Daesh. As far as this will continue, the United States will continue supporting them. But Turkey, that's why Turkey is now very keen on launching this operation by itself, to tell its allies in the West that we are not turning a blind eye over the Daesh terrorist attacks or terrorist actions in the region. That's why you should decide which side you're going to take. Is it the Turkish side or the group's side, the Kurdish militias side?
Daesh have carried out a number of high-profile attacks across Turkey in the last 12 months or so. There was the one in Ankara, Sultan Ahmet Ataturk Airport. Why has it taken so long for Turkey to go so aggressively after the group?
The first thing for Turkey, they didn't want to start any operation away from the umbrella of the international community. They've been demanding the international community to join a ground operation, a coalition operation against terrorism in Syria, including Daesh, including other extremist groups, including the terror of the country itself, of Assad groups. That's why they've been waiting for this. And now I believe that what happened, the turning point is that the coup and the failed attempt of the coup, followed by a series of assassinations and more condensed operations in Syria, in Turkey, that would lead to more effective measures on the ground to deter the escalation of these movements.
You mentioned the umbrella of the international community now. We've got Russia and Iran on one side. We've got the US-led coalition on the other side. Now Turkey with its objectives as well. How do you think that triumvirate can work together if the objective is the same, to wipe out Daesh?
Yeah, the magical word here is Daesh terror. the war on terror. For Iran, they cannot say no. For Russia, we know that this airstrike is the first after the downing of the Russian jet in last November. That's why I think Russia and Iran will turn a blind eye and would not interfere in the operation as far as it's against Daesh and as far as it doesn't target their own ally and Assad regime. For the United States, that's the more perplexing point of view because Joe Biden is here in Turkey and he is going to speak about this, I believe, because the United States consider YPG and the PYD as their own allies, and they're the fiercest fighters against Daesh. So for Turkey, again, the most important crucial point is we are not going to allow a Kurdish entity on our borders, and the whole world should understand that. The west of Euphrates is a crucial, unequivocal point that we will not allow the Kurdish troops to come here because they're going to constitute a foundation, they're going to constitute a base against the Turkey's citizens.
We know that for several months Turkey have been proposing the idea of a buffer zone, I suppose, in that area now. They want to wipe the YPG out of that area, Daesh as well. Who does fill that void? Have they come to the conclusion perhaps that the Assad regime, be it temporarily or perhaps, is the lesser of two evils here?
Turkey is very clear in this regard. They say that we need to have the moderate rebels or the Free Syrian Army. They should be trained, and they already did a good job in this regard. They've been training these people, and they're going to fill that void. And I believe that Assad has no role in the short term, in the long term, from the point of view of Turkey. They believe that he is a murderer. He's a dictator who killed his own people, and there must be transitional period, but Assad will not be part of that. This is the problem with Russia and Iran from one side. For the United States is, till this moment, is not so clear. Publicly, they say that Assad will not be part of the solution. But to be honest, according to Obama doctrine, again, he doesn't believe in the change of the central government. And he believes that we cannot topple Assad the same as we did to Saddam. And that was the fatal mistake, as well as what happened in Libya. So for the government, the Washington, they believe that we should keep Assad for the short term. And for the Iran and Moscow, they have the same thing as well. But for Turkey, that is the point they're going to negotiate. But still, at the end of the point, they will not allow any kind of Kurdish. That's very sensitive issue for the Kurdish government, the Turkish government.
Okay, Ahmed al Burai, thank you very much for your time once again.
Thank you.